Chapter 4. Yeah, but whenever we are at the threshold of something new, it is completely natural to feel resistance. It is normal to feel we have every excuse in the world to not move forward. In this chapter, we're going to get really honest with your yeah, buts. We will acknowledge them, sit down with them, and then invite them to leave. Because you can do this, and you will. Now, if I were personally coaching you, I would ask you how you feel about this new way of making healthy changes. Chances are you may be feeling much of the resistance my clients have expressed. You may be feeling just as vulnerable and exposed as they do when they share their hesitations about moving forward. Let's address a few of those now. First off, I know you've tried this before, this being a new beginning. Whether in the dieting or lifestyle arena, you've tried to make healthy changes many, many times. You might be saying to yourself, what makes me think I can do this? That's a great question. I invite you to sit with that for a bit. What emotions come up? What thoughts do you notice? You can use the journal prompts at the end of this chapter to write them down. One of the biggest emotions you may notice is fear. I know this is scary to try again. Fear of failure is real. Fear of letting yourself down, fear of letting others down, fear of never, ever being successful, and thereby never living the life you want. Those are some high stakes. Write down what is coming up for you and just let yourself sit with those feelings for a moment. Don't worry, we'll let them go soon, but for now, let's look at them and be honest about them. Now, as you write down the thoughts and emotions coming up about your new beginning, your body and your mind might be completely freaking out. Maybe your heart is racing, your body is jittery, and you literally just want to shut this book and walk away. That's okay. That's resistance. Keep breathing, keep reading, and let me help you through this. When my fight or flight response alarm is going off in my brain and my body, I cup my hand and place my fingertips and thumb over my sternum in the middle of my chest and tap. Tapping this way and focusing on my breath will often calm my nervous system enough that I can think clearly again. Try it if you need some help getting through the rebellion your nervous system is mounting right now. I made a video that coaches you through those thoughts and emotions. If you go to danielledinkleman.com/toolkit to watch the video and get some help working through those feelings, maybe that will help. As your friend and your coach, I have some thoughts for you to consider. First, I invite you to hold on tight to what made you want to try again. Remember your wake-up call. Remember the glimmer of hope you caught hold of. Remember your vision and why you want to see this through. Approach this with curiosity. I wonder what will make the difference for me. I am interested to see what will work for me this time. One more thought for you. Maybe this time will be different because you are different. Maybe all the experiences, successes, and failures you've had have prepared you for this next step. You are not the same person you were 10 years ago, 1 year ago, or even a month ago because you are continually learning and growing. Remember and realize you are not alone this time either. Before, you didn't have the guidance of this book, and if you feel you need more support and guidance than a book can offer, that's okay too. If you doubt your ability to do this alone, it means you're ready to ask for help. If so, please reach out. I can walk you through this process of learning and changing in one of my individual or group coaching programs. You don't have to do this alone. Getting a coach in your corner is a wonderful way to ensure your success. Tune in to what you need to be successful and listen to that prompting. But what if this won't work for me? Let's start reframing some of the thoughts coming up for you. Maybe there's just a whole lot of doubt. Does turning your health around sound like a fantasy? Okay, that's fine. For now, let's just focus on what's in front of you. Even if you try everything in this book and you don't lose 50 to 100 pounds, you don't reverse your diabetes, or you don't soften your anxiety, is it still worth a try? The things you will learn in this book have no negative side effects. If it's not the weight, the diabetes, or the anxiety, I would put money on it that you will experience something getting better as you focus on the healthy habits in this book. Consider that for a moment. What do you have to lose? You may feel your situation is unique, and you may be wondering if this approach will really work for you. Of course, your situation is unique. We can work with that. I hope you know by now that this book is not going to dictate your every move. It's not about, if you follow the Danielle Dinkelman program to a T, your results are guaranteed. No, that's not what this is. Here you will find powerful principles to heal yourself with lifestyle change. Every single application of these principles will be as unique as the fingerprint of the person applying them. So please, make this fit your life and your circumstances. You are the expert on what will and will not work for you. You have complete veto power over any specific suggestions I offer in this book, with one caveat. Don't dismiss the principle behind the suggestion. Find a way to make it work for you. Now let's talk about failure. If you've failed before, great. You've learned what does and does not work for you. That's the exact data we need to be successful next time. If you try and fail this time, look at it more as a learning experience. Take what you can from the experience, make adjustments, and move forward. If you need some hand-holding to walk you through that process, you know where to find me. Go to danielledinkelman.com to learn more about my individual and group coaching. Consider this. All that resistance you're feeling as you step up to the plate to take your swing is setting you up for a great adventure. Have you ever watched a movie or read a book that didn't include adversity and opposition? Of course not. Those books don't sell and those movies don't get made. Resistance is not a bad sign. It's a good sign. And you know what? You are the hero in your own story. You are about to embark on a life-changing, brag-worthy story. Every hero has a guide. Luke had Obi-Wan, Harry had Hagrid, and you've got me. Albeit a smaller, cuter, less hairy guide, you've got a guide. I've got you, and you've got this. Yeah, but number one, family. True or false? My family wants me to be healthy and well. Of course, the people who love you want you to be healthier and happier, but at what cost, you might be thinking. So many of the men and women I coach worry that if they take the time and effort to make changes in their lifestyle, they will somehow be putting their family out. One of my recent clients felt that way. She was contemplating completely changing the type of foods she would be feeding herself and her family. She wanted to try more whole food, plant-based eating. Her big resistance came in the form of a busy working husband and two young adult and teenage sons. At least in her head, this was her biggest obstacle. She worried about how they would feel about the change. She worried about the pushback they would give her. As she and I talked, we came up with some solutions. Sometimes the key to family resistance is simply having a conversation. She committed in our coaching session to talk with her husband and sons about the changes she wanted to make and why she wanted to make them. Of course, this went well because her family wanted her to be healthier and happier. They agreed dinners would now be different, and if they didn't like what she made, they could hop in the car like the big boys they were and go get themselves a hamburger. A simple conversation focused on the real issues can put many concerns to rest. You give so much to your family. When was the last time you asked for them to give something to you? It's okay to ask for and give yourself what you need to be happy, healthy, and whole. I wish every caring human would print in big bold letters on their bathroom mirror, "I can't draw water from an empty well." All the givers and doers in the world need to remember this. How can you give when you are depleted and drained? How can you keep giving when you are barely functioning? You can't. Filling your cup and taking care of yourself is not selfish, it's essential. Let's flip that on its head and examine it for a moment. Ask yourself, how would my family benefit from me being healthier? Grab a pen and paper and please write down at least 20 ways you taking care of you actually takes care of them. Think of the short term as well as the long term. You might be surprised at what you come up with. When it really comes down to it, only you can take care of you. You take care of everyone else. So you are the most important person to take care of, right? You may hear me say this a dozen more times, but it is possible that taking the time to care for yourself may be the most selfless thing you ever do. Yeah, but number 2, work. Next in line in the list of yeah buts is your job. You may feel you don't have the time or energy to focus on your health because of your busy career. Getting healthier will be like a part-time job. Have you ever said this to yourself? If you've never worried about that, you can skip this section. If you do worry that getting healthy will be too demanding, you might need to hang with me for a moment. Let's think about this. Could it be that what's good for your health is also good for your career? What do you think? Is that possible? There's a lot of research on how the health and wellness of employees impacts productivity in the workplace. Simply Google presenteeism, and you'll see impressive data on how much less productive people are, even though they are present at work, if their state of mental and physical health is lacking. Absenteeism and wellness is also well studied. We know that people who take good care of themselves get sick less often and therefore miss less work. It makes sense, right? Of course, our health and wellness impacts our productivity and being present at work. How you feel will affect every aspect of your life. You know that better than anyone. I know it too. Remember my auto accident injury? I knew I could be a better mother to my 2-year-old, but it was incredibly hard to do so with the pain I was in. We're only human, so let's take care of ourselves. I believe the people who depend on us at home and at work will be glad we did. Sure, it may take some trade-offs to accomplish this, but what I'm saying is that it will be worth it for you and for your career. You may have to change one thing in order to get another. You may have to give up something you're used to so you can create a healthier new normal. I'll dive into more of these trade-offs in Chapter 5, but for now, begin to believe that, whatever it takes, it will be time and energy well spent. Imagine if you showed up to work at your best. How would life be better for you and for those you work with? What are some ways your customers or clients would benefit from you being in tip-top shape? Take some time to jot these down. It's powerful to connect the dots so you can give yourself permission to make your health a priority. Because let's face it, if you don't make your health a priority, who will? Yeah, but number 3, money. Here's another big yeah, but. Getting healthy is expensive. What do you think? True or false? Are you holding back on the beginning of a concerted effort in becoming healthier because you're worried about money? That's understandable. There's a lot out there you could spend your money on in the name of health. There are gym memberships or home gym equipment, nutrition systems, and diet fees, but you already know we won't be doing so much of that here. Then there are meal delivery and buying healthy foods at grocery stores. And yes, you could invest in a personal trainer or a health coach, but you don't have to be rich to remodel your health. One way to look at it is to compare the cost of illness with the cost of wellness. Think of all the money you're spending on medications and doctor visits. How much of that would dissipate if you were in a better state of health? I've got to tell you, when we changed the way we ate at home, when my 4 kids were little, we went from seeing the doctor for coughs, sinus infections, ear infections multiple times a year to hardly at all. Our immune systems get stronger as we take better care of ourselves. It is amazing. Now, of course, money can make things easier when it comes to reclaiming your health. I'm a big believer in investing in myself because I know I am worth it. If I can find something or someone to help make changes faster, easier, or more effective, I will invest in that. I have invested in books, courses, and coaches for life, relationships, health, and business. I even have my own health and wellness coach because I believe in investing in myself. I am my greatest asset. I am worth the investment, and I always get a return on my investments in myself. That being said, you can build a healthy lifestyle on any budget. One more thing to consider when it comes to health and money. How much is your current lifestyle costing you? How often do you eat out? Those restaurant bills can add up pretty quickly. How much money do you spend on treats and junk food? Those are some of the most expensive things on the shelves. How about soda? I have had clients who quit their multiple times a day soda habit and found they had a lot of extra cash at the end of the week. They loved getting to use the money they saved on themselves in other ways. I encourage you to take some time to write down your current lifestyle and medical expenses. You'll see that adopting a healthier lifestyle won't cost you as much as it may save you. Yeah, but number 4, self-care is selfish. Last thought, true or false? Prioritizing my health is selfish. This one is so hard for many of my clients. Most of the women and men I work with are givers. They give and serve and give some more. Whether in their roles as a parent or grandparent or in their careers, it's hard for them to believe it is not selfish to take time and energy for themselves or spend money on themselves. Is this true for you? If so, you're not alone. I get it. I used to have a hard time with this too. As a mother of 4, I believed I was only a good mother if I spent every moment with my kids. I thought I was only being productive if I was taking care of them or our home. This was a pretty miserable way to live, and you know what? It wasn't really worth it. The more I took time for myself, the better caretaker and nurturer I became. The more I allowed others to support me and my family, the lighter my load was and the happier I felt. You know that phrase, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy? Well, it's so true. And the same goes for all women and men in a giver's role. Whatever your yeah buts, whether they be related to time, energy, or money, you can retrain your brain and move forward. Here are 3 things to start reprogramming your brain with. 1, of course you are worth it. You are worth it because you are human. Every human on this planet, even the homeless and the destitute, have inherent value. Your value is not determined by your results or productivity in society. You are valuable because you are alive. 2, you deserve to be happy. I love that the pursuit of happiness is in the United States Declaration of Independence. Pursuing happiness is not selfish. It's an unalienable right. If everyone else has a right to pursue health and happiness, then why not you? 3, you deserve to take up time and space. You have needs. You have wants. It is okay to have your needs and desires met. Of course, anything can be taken to an extreme, but chances are, if you're self-conscious about taking time, energy, and money for yourself, you're not at much risk for taking so much for yourself that you leave the people you care about with nothing. If you're struggling with any of these mindset shifts around taking care of yourself, go ahead and read this chapter on a daily basis. Open yourself mentally and emotionally to begin thinking and feeling differently about taking care of yourself. If you need to, think of taking care of yourself as a selfless act, because in taking care of yourself, you are actually taking care of all the people who depend on you. Now, as you step into a self-care mentality, let's move on to Chapter 5, where I'll give you more details on what it looks like to reclaim your health with lifestyle. You'll get clear on the trade-offs required in this journey, And you'll be glad to know that this new approach always gives back more than it takes. I'm excited to continue this journey with you. Be sure to go to danielledinkleman.com/toolkit to check out the video, Tapping Through Resistance. Chapter 4, Journal Prompts. Number 1, what fears or excuses are coming up for you as you consider pursuing a healthy lifestyle? Number 2, what past failures are causing you to doubt yourself? What did you learn from those experiences that can actually be helpful for you this time around? Number 3, who are you feeling would lose out if you took more time and attention for yourself? How would they actually be better served by you taking care of yourself? Number 4, what are the pros and cons of focusing on your health when it comes to your job and finances? Number 5, what mantra or I am statement will help you remember that you are worth taking better care of? Write it down and put it somewhere you will see daily.